Let's talk about it. OnlyFans model goes crazy. Boyfriend records all of these insane incidents, these insane situations that is really no other words you can use but insane. This lady is destroying this. The boyfriend recorded this woman destroying his property, breaking his TVs, like messing his clothes up, breaking his car windows, and then playing victim. I mean, it's really a sad reality because it's clear that this woman has some kind of mental issue going on upstairs. And the average Joe Schmo would look at this woman's beauty and her attractiveness and think that, man, that's what I want right there. But they don't understand that a lot of these kind of women come with psychological baggage, man. Emotional baggage. We already know for a woman to even consider the adult industry, there has to be some sort of underlying something missing. I don't hate the game, but the lady's smashing windows. She's breaking TV. She's ransacking this dude's closet, destroying his clothes, threatening to take herself out, not allow him to leave. This insane. And the whole time, she's abusing this guy and destroying his property. She's crying as if she's the victim. Now the guy is just trying to get out. He's just trying to get out of the way. He stays calm the whole time, which is good. He recorded it, which is another good thing because the camera is what's gonna save a lot of brothers out here, especially when you're dealing with certain types of women. It was a crazy video when I saw it because a lot of men don't understand how often these types of things happen, especially with attractive women. And let's be real, fellas. A lot of attractive women love toxic situations. That's just the reality of it. Women like to be on this quote unquote roller coaster because women get bored easy. A lot of these kind of women get complimented 24/7. They get praised for their beauty. They get what a lot of people would call pretty privilege, right? And so you would never think that a woman so pretty could act like a demon, could act like she's insane, to act like she don't even have a brain in her head. But when you see this, it's also manipulation. The whole act of playing victim in this situation is also a form of manipulation because it says, I'm gonna destroy your property. I'm gonna harm myself because the woman rammed her head into the wall. She pistol whipped herself. She got an actual firearm and she pistol whipped herself, ran her head into the door, to the wall. This attractive woman right here you see on the screen, she ran her head. They say she broke her nose. Think about that for a minute, guys. I don't mean to laugh because, again, obviously there's some mental instability going on right here, right? And so I don't ever want to criticize the mentally unstable. But at the same time, we also have to take accountability for our actions. Because this ain't all mental here. This is done with a strategy. This whole strategy is a form of manipulation. So too many people confuse toxic situations with love. Maybe because they grew up seeing that kind of dysfunction in the household, in a single mother household. Maybe they grew up without a dad. Hey, it's a million reasons why. But at the end of the day, once we become adults, you got to take accountability. You got to take accountability. And though, yeah, there is some mental instability here with this young woman, but she knows exactly what she's doing because she's also using manipulation as a form of control to this man. She's abusing herself, using that as a weapon against the man to say, hey, if you leave me, then I'm going to tell the police that you beat me up. When in actuality, she beat herself up. That's a form of manipulation. Now, you can say something wrong with her, and yeah, I believe it. You know, something not ticking up there. But we all know that a lot of young women in the industry oftentimes go through mental instability, right? And that's just a fact. But it's a lot that comes with that, man. When I saw it, I had to speak on it because this happens more often than you think. And I've seen some craziness, even in my own personal life. Putting this man's life in danger.
Come, Alexandra, this is a scene, man.
This a grown woman in the middle of the street trying to get hit by a car, bro. But look at her face, guys. That's what y'all want, right? Bro, she just laid out on the ground and played dead like a roach. I'm not surprised. I've seen this. I've went through this in my younger years, of course. Ain't no amount of assets in the world. This ain't peace. Ran into the door head first, broke her nose, and then broke this man's car window. And old buddy got the AMG Mercedes. AMG broke his whole back because he couldn't go out with his homeboy. She broke his TV.
You're a mean one.
Walked on his TV. He probably went through $1 million in TV. Mental health is real. I have no intents to harm or hurt anyone's image. I'm only posting to protect my name from the false lies that have been created and stated about me. This boyfriend, consistently for the past 2 years, this crazy shit for 2 years, consistently for the past 2 years, I've allowed her to carry this false victim narrative for too long and never said nothing about it publicly. Mainly to protect her and because I feel like in-home issues should be kept private, but unfortunately, she doesn't share the same respect and perspective, and me as a black man will be the one to see and feel the consequences or excel behind her lies. This is all very toxic and lame. The boyfriend, he seems like a private person, right? Even though his woman is very public, but he felt that he had to speak out to protect himself. And after seeing some of these videos, I do understand why. Because men can be placed in a position where the courts is going to automatically look at them like the bad guy. The justice system right now is set up in a way where men can be attacked. Men can be blamed for doing things, called things that may or may not be true. In the court of law, that person may be innocent, but in a court of public opinion, that person is guilty. And so that person's image is ruined. And how do most men in generally, behind a woman? Behind dealing with the wrong kind of woman. Because I don't want this to take away from none of the good women out there, because I'm a person that still believes that good women do exist. Now, it might be a needle in the haystack, but hey, it's a big world, billions of people. I believe it's good women out there. With that being said, this man dealt with this craziness for 2 years, right? And it got to the point where I'm sure he seen even, this is just what he captured on video. Just imagine all the shit he didn't capture. Because I'm the type of person to where I like to stay low key. I like to live good. I want to be in a good neighborhood, the quiet neighborhood, where it ain't none of that foolishness going on, right? And shit can happen anywhere. But stuff like this, especially when you're a private person, you don't want the neighbors and everybody all in your business. When you in a nice area, especially you a low-key brother, you don't want all that craziness, man. You don't want your house, your issues happening in the house to be spilling all out in the street like that. And some women will do this as a last resort, some sort of desperate attempt to manipulate you into doing whatever it is that they wanted you to do. And when a lot of brothers do the smart thing and try to leave, these types of women will turn the heat up. They'll turn the tension up, start poking the bear. They'll aggravate the situation to the point where it's almost like they want you to put your hands on them, because once you put your hands on them, bam, they got you. They got you. And so they can kind of hold that over your head as a way to manipulate you, right? And so that's just some of the things, man, that you really got to be aware of when you're dealing with some types of women, man. This stuff right here, I mean, it's a lot to unpack, man. Obviously, man, if I had to guess, this woman didn't grow up with a dad. She didn't grow up, you know, a certain kind of way. She's put herself in a position to be admired as an object, and not really as a woman, but as an object, as a man's fantasy, right? She's in the adult entertainment industry, and she's made $3.4 million on OnlyFans since 2019. That's a lot of bread to make within a matter of what? 6 years? 6 years? Okay. Anytime you in one of them lanes where fast money involved, that come with consequences on the dark side, man. It comes with all kind of issues, whether you in the streets, whether you scamming, whether you in the adult industry, whether you pimping, whether you 10 toes down with it. One can't be fully mentally stable indulging in those types of activities, man. Your dancers, your adult entertainers, your whatever. I ain't got nothing against nobody hustle. You do what you do. I ain't here to judge. But that shit come with demons, bro. Let's just be real. And some of them demons you see right here, right? Because this young woman's mentality probably started to break down earlier on in her life because of whatever that may or may not have happened to her. But very scary, because when men put themselves around women like this, they put their freedom on the line, and they also put their life on the line. Personal story. A long time ago, when I was a little younger, y'all young brothers, y'all can deal with a lot of this kind of stuff. Especially when you got a bad chick and she crazy, but we all know about them crazy chicks, right? Because y'all already know them crazy chicks be having them skills, right? So that's what it is. So y'all younger guys, man, when y'all find y'all something nice and they got them skills, but then they crazy as cat shit, right? Y'all try to look past a lot. You can't look past it, because it ain't gonna do nothing but escalate, bro. And it's gonna escalate to the point where if you got a lot of shit to lose, or if you got a lot of shit going on, you gotta really stop thinking about that shit. You can lose all of that shit, bro. Yeah. As you start getting a little older, making a little bit of change, you not gonna be able to deal with stuff. Or it ain't even that you're not gonna be able to deal with it, it's that you're not gonna deal with it. No matter how gorgeous she looking. So the older you get, the more you're gonna start putting more value into yourself, and the more you're gonna start thinking about the things that you have to lose.
Can you come inside so we can talk? Let's talk.
I don't want to talk. I want to die. I'm pleading my case to you because I sincerely want to die. I know I can't do it myself, bro. I know I can't do it myself, so I'll make you do it. But I can't do it, bro.
Alexandra, come on, bro. What is you doing, bro? Alexandra, this is a scene, man. What is you doing?
This young lady made $3 million on OnlyFans. She got what we call pretty privilege, man. Because I'm sure she has millions of followers. But fellas, when you date an attractive woman like this, you not only dating her body, as fine, as much assets as she displayed, you also dating whatever baggage she bringing. Because obviously she got a whole lot of baggage. And every night sleeping next to trauma, it's just like a bomb waiting to go off. Because women like this love that roller coaster. They love to be on that toxic shit. When they're younger especially, right? As women get a little bit older, you still got some to be on that toxic shit, man. But especially when they much younger, yeah, bro. You know, the woman was saying that the dude took money from her. I don't know if he was acting as her manager while she was doing her OnlyFans business, right? I just got this side of the story, right? It's always two sides to a coin. But what I've seen and what I've experienced in my real life, that this shit does happen, bro. You think. And I ain't talking to my guys who really just, guys, if you ain't never had a woman go crazy, bro, behind you, then you may not be able to relate to this. A woman ain't just going crazy behind a dude just for no reason. They going crazy behind a dude because they really feeling that dude. Not get yourself caught up with maybe having kids with a woman like this, or trying to look at a woman like this as something long term, right? So one minute she was on the internet showing text messages about this man taking like 30,000, whatever, stealing from him. But then on the next minute, she bragging about the gifts and all the money he spent on her. Whatever, man. It's real sad, man. Anytime you gotta bring your personal business from within the walls of your house onto the internet, right? And you messing up the bag. Said, despite how she get her money, I ain't here to judge nobody, bro. It is what it is, man. Money. And so let's be real, fellas. Let's just put this on the flip side, man. We always talk about double standards, right? Let's put this on the flip side, man. What if we saw a man smashing up TVs, or screaming at the top of his lungs, just destroying a woman's property, right? While she just sat there quietly. Man, he would have already been in jail, bro. He would have been canceled. He would have been done. It would have been protests outside the jail. Monster. Not even considering the man's side of the coin. And like I say, let me put something out there. No way agree with a man putting his hands or abusing a woman in any kind of way. I feel like a man needs to go under the jail if he puts his hands on a woman, unless he absolutely has to protect himself. And so let me put that out there. But let's just be real, man. This man would have been under the jail had the shoe been on the other foot, right? But if a woman does it, well, what did the man do? He must have been emotionally abusive. He must have drove her to be that crazy, right? Because emotional manipulation is just as bad as, that's a form of abuse. Emotional manipulation is a form of abuse. Beating yourself up, saying you're gonna call the police, that's emotional manipulation. That's abuse. It's used to control, right? Using, the young lady said she gonna take herself out. She went as far as threatening to take herself out just so that she can get some form of control from her dude. Yeah, that's a form of emotional manipulation, guys. It's a double standard. That's just the way it is. So why do guys stay dealing with this kind of madness? Is it ego? Is it lust? Is it fear? Is it all three? If this woman paying for the car, for the house, for the clothes, he probably hoping, hey, she be tripping all the time like that, she'll calm down in a minute. But over time, these kind of things, brushing underneath the carpet like that, it tends to escalate. It tends to get worse until you start seeing situations to where now your woman ramming her whole head into the wall like she a goddamn ram. I've gone through this before. A woman doing the same thing this young lady is doing, threatening to take herself out, but actually taking your firearm, running off in your house with it loaded, and threatening to delete herself. We simple, and we shouldn't be simple about the wrong things, but we simple. Guys, we need beautiful woman, nice body, outstanding in the bedroom. You'll take probably a little bit more craziness with a woman like that versus, you know what I'm saying? You'll take a little bit more from an attractive woman, regardless of how crazy they are. Men do. But that's when you younger. Like, as you get older, man, dealing with that kind of stuff becomes just something that you won't entertain, you won't even want to deal with, because it'll get a point in time where your peace is more important. And I know some of my young guys ain't gonna never believe that, but that's the truth. And this woman got a OF page. That's where she make most of her bread at. I ain't never saw it, never heard of this woman before today. But obviously she doing something if she made 3.4 M's since 2019. Because I get it twisted. All these women are not on OnlyFans making that kind of bread. That's the exception to the rule. That's the exception.